first of all, if you don't mind, why don't you tell everyone the work you do, what kind of like business you have, and then we'll dive into a little bit of like how you were able to grow it in the last couple months. How does that sound?
Okay, awesome. Well, I work with virtual summit hosts, right? And I help them like manage their summit events, so I can take care of everything, the tech part,
Yeah.
and creating everything, making sure that everything is working.
Yeah.
For the summit, for the event. So that's what
Awesome.
I do.
Awesome, I love it. So, folks, if anyone ever is running some type of like virtual summit and needs help, you can contact Emmy. She's a pro at it. But Emmy, I always love to take people through your journey. So why don't you tell people a little bit of like where business was at before we started working together, just so that they have a good idea of like where business started and kind of where it has come.
Okay, well, when I started working with you and with CCI, I was like not getting clients. I was like maybe doing 3,000 a month, like average, but
yeah,
there was months that were like 1,000 and things like that. Like I was pretty bad. I was feeling pretty bad because it was like, oh my God, that scared me. And then, well, I do. And I've been like following you for a year, I think, or something, or more.
Yeah.
And I always heard that you talking about, okay, well, if you are not doing it, you think that you will make it alone, but you probably need help. So
yeah. 100%.
It was me.
Yeah, it was you. That's okay. And that's where most people come to us, right? Where they're like, sometimes I get clients, sometimes I don't get clients. And like, it's like, we want to make it more consistent. Now, one of the questions I always love to ask people is like, what made you decide that you were going to actually like invest and make it happen? Because it's a scary leap for a lot of people to like invest in working with a business mentor, especially because there's some that aren't as good and they've maybe made people a little bit more wary of things. So why did you decide that you were going to take that leap and take that risk for yourself?
Well, I think that first of all was seeing that I wasn't making progress, so I needed help, right? First. Second, like I felt like I knew you and Terry just for watching you on your videos and things like that. So I felt that like that connection, so that helped me too. And I decided, okay, I have 3 months, let's see what happens. And I think that what I thought it was something like, okay, it can be worse.
100%. I love that. So you're just like, hey, I'm going to make it happen. Like, I'm just going to go for it. All that kind of good stuff. No, that's amazing. So let's talk about, so now actually, I mean, we already kind of told people that you've gotten some good results. Let's talk about the results that you got, and then let's dive into, just for a short amount of time, maybe some of the like key strategies that got you there. So why don't you share with people a little bit of like where you got to in the first 3 months and how the business grew? Just share a little bit about that.
Okay, perfect. Well, on the first 3 months working with you, like I went from 3,000 average to the last month was 11,000. So that was a big jump. Like,
that's a big jump. Yeah. Oh, are we frozen?
I was like, oh no, you're calling me.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
We're back. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. I can see you, by the way. Like I'm talking to the screen because I don't know why I can't see you, but.
Oh, that's funny. I can see you, so we're all good. I think folks comment down below. Can you see both of us? Just comment down below. But that's I mean, that's honestly incredible. Great results, Emmy, and like I'm so proud of you. So, what would you say are some of the key strategies that we worked through? Whether it was how to target people, how to have conversations, how to do sales, or whatever. What were the kind of key pieces that you think were the most helpful to getting you to be making $11,000 a month?
Yeah, well, I think that first of all was like the demo and having those steps that I knew or that I know that I have to do every day. Like that's was key for me because I wasn't doing it. Like I knew that I have to like find new people, I have to start conversations, but I wasn't doing it like consistently. And actually when I have like a week that I do it, but I don't do it as I should, I noticed that I have less calls, less clients, all those things. So for me, that was key. And also following up, like I was afraid to contacting someone that like didn't respond or like, I don't know, said maybe, but then they didn't contact me again. All of those leads were there and I wasn't doing anything with that. So following up helped me a lot too.
Those two things are so critical, like the daily method of operation, like actually knowing what to do and how much of it you should be doing, right? Because a lot of people are like, well, I should probably post, or yeah, I should have conversations, or yeah, I should grow my audience, or yeah, I should follow up with people. But it's actually knowing not only that you should be doing them, but like how to do them. That was so useful for you because it didn't take many weeks for all of a sudden that to work really well, right? Like when you started to put in the work and hit the metrics, like how quickly do you feel like you started to see better results?
I think that like for the 4th week, like I started seeing like great results from what I was doing. And I think that was me on me because the 1st week I didn't do it as I should. So that's why I think that it took me 4 weeks to start seeing the results.
100%. And sometimes that is also the case just because when you start to do the right things, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have the outcomes right away, right? It's like the same thing when you if you go to the gym, you're not necessarily going to see results the first week. But as you get better at it and you do more of the right things and less of the wrong things, and then you build this momentum, you see these incredible results. And I'm just really excited for you because I feel like now we're kind of wanting to keep on building and building upon this. And like, I know this has changed your life. So one last question, because I don't want to take too much of your time here today. And folks, if you have any questions that are watching, you can comment them down below. Even if you're watching the replay, comment down below any questions you would have for me or for Emmy. But the last question I have for you today, Emmy, is like for the people who are watching who are wanting to grow their businesses and they're wanting to get results like you, what would be your number one tip, whether it's like a mindset tip or whether it's just like a what you should do tip, just to like get results in their business? What would be one thing you'd like to leave with just the people watching?
I think that it will be like realize that if you're not getting the results, it's because something is missing, and probably getting the help you need is what gonna get you to those results. So I think that it's getting help. Like every time that I realize that I need help and I get it, I see great results. So I think that's will be my advice.
No, that's a great piece of advice. And I like how you said at the beginning, if you're not getting a result, something is wrong or something is missing, right? And that's just good advice for anything in life, right? Like a lot of us just like feel the struggle or feel the pain, and we're like, oh, maybe it'll kind of change on its own, right? We kind of like are like being passive about it. But I like how you said it, something's wrong, go get help. Like you can control that this is going to get better. And I think that's just such a good frame of mind for people to think through, is like, if something isn't working the way you want it to, get help, go basically be proactive about it and go make it happen. So that's absolutely great advice, and I'm really excited for you. What's the next level for you, Emmy? I know you're working with our team now. What's the next step you're wanting to hit with everything?
Yeah, well, like now I'm working on like having a team. So having a team member that can help me like grow, but without spending more time on my business, because I want to enjoy my life. So I think that's my next step, like keep growing, but having a team that can help me grow.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. And that's just such a really great next step, because obviously with you doing a lot of this work, you got all these clients, but it's like a lot of work. And that's the beauty of your space as well, is there's lots of people who can kind of do your work, but they don't know how to get clients. And so building out that team is just incredible. So we had one question down below from Sherry. Would love to hear your thoughts on how do you move from push energy to flow energy? This is a great question. And actually, here's the answer I would give Sherry. So the only way to get to flow energy or flow in business is through the resistance, not around it. And I'm going to explain this to you in the same way as if I want to get to a place where I'm running in the mountains and it feels like I'm in flow and things are just clicking. The only way that that ever happens is if I put in the training and the work to get strong enough where those things feel like flow. It's the classic, like the weight doesn't get lighter, you get stronger. And so it's the same thing in business. You actually have to move through the resistance and master the skill and master the business so that you can then feel in flow. So many people want the flow without the work. That's just never how it works. And so that's always my advice, is that you say, how do I move from push to flow? It's actually you move through push to get to the place where you are the master of it, right? The masters of their craft are able to flow because they did whatever it is, the classic 10,000 hours of training, right? So if you want to get to become a master in business, go through it, not around it, because the shortcuts will never lead you to flow. So great question though, folks. I don't want to take any of your time because you're building a business and you got a lot of work to do. Thank you so much for jumping on. Folks, if you have any other questions, you can feel free to reach out or comment them down below. But Emmy, you have a great rest of your Friday, and thanks for jumping on, folks. We really appreciate you tuning in. Bye for now, everyone. Thank you. Bye.